everybody. So, with the current condition of the world today, where we have runaway risks like nuclear war, climate change, and artificial intelligence that could get out of control, it's become quite clear that we need to dig deeper into the potential of our psychology, consciousness to be able to collaborate and to be able to overcome our deeply embedded evolutionary tendencies for tribalism and ego power. So, one of the first things, if I had to summarize, that is really helpful for this process for all of humanity in an accessible way that doesn't require um, belief in something intangible would be a set of a few things. One of them is to relax the nervous system as much as possible through simple regulation of the breath that isn't necessarily complicated. The second thing is to become aware of the different capabilities of your body. The body is a constraint in a sense. It keeps us kind of, it shapes our consciousness. It gives us, it influences the mind in various ways. And at the same time, there are little hidden abilities in the body, particularly in the various plexuses in the body. So, in that regard, becoming aware of the central axis, the neural axis of the body, the nerves that run through the body, and starting to move awareness through there, and then linking that with breath. In particular, being aware of the energy in the belly region, below that area, and then going up gradually. Bringing that central awareness of the body builds like a sort of psychological and attentional totem pole of sorts, where you can stack your awareness. Then begins the process of interfacing that built awareness with the environment around you, meaning, in particular, nature. Nature is a complex system that has evolved its harmony of its various elements over the course of millions and billions of years. And nature, in a sense, produced us. We sprung out of nature. We emerged from nature as human beings. And in a sense, nature is in us. We are made of the products of nature. We are a product of nature, and we're made from its component parts. So being able to use nature and the surroundings as kind of a fuel for our own consciousness and awareness is crucial. It also will help us realize that we are more similar with our surroundings than we may imagine, and that it is incumbent upon us to include nature around us and our surroundings, including the many species and inhabitants around us, as part of within our umbrella of what we can consider our duty to take care of and wish the best for, and how we take action in the world around us, how considering how it's going to influence all of that. So, in order to better interface with that, is to develop some awareness of how the body and the mind relative to the body can relate to the environment. So you take that awareness you developed through your breath, through focusing on the body axis and circulating the energy around you through just awareness and attentional exercises. Then beginning to shift that to integrating the area around you with the area within you, and starting to create a continuum of awareness between what's in and what's out. Those things will yield for everyone a different product because everyone is different. It'll nonetheless produce an increased awareness of of the limits of your body, and realizing how actually fuzzy they are, as we're made of the same stuff as the things around us. Beyond that, it's a process of actually digging into your sort of psychological shadow and making an intention to have some sort of psychological or personal mastery. So there is the element of looking out for any forms of identification with a tribe, and that means nation state, group, collective, anything that helps, anything that promotes thinking in terms of a limited group of beings, as that will basically promote discontinuity and separation from others around us. When tribalism and any desire for control and ego power dynamics are progressively shed away, there opens an opportunity for a deeper communion with the world around us and deeper emergent collaboration. Because normally what happens is these dynamics actually interfere with collaborative intent and potential constantly at unconscious levels based on projections of what we have observed in the past, which is actually how our nervous system works. So hence the importance of being aware of your body, your nervous system, reducing stress by regulating your breath slightly, in very simple ways that don't require a lot of training, just practice and habit, really. And then learning to pay attention to how energy moves in your body. So just signals in your body, paying attention to them, letting them guide your attention, and in turn letting your attention guide them, so to speak, will help tremendously in becoming aware of not only just your body, which is half the point, really, rather of the pre-conscious processes that influence the mind and direct its actions, direct its thoughts, direct its judgments, all things that are relevant when it becomes when it's time to think about how our unconscious is influencing the outcomes we see around us in the world. If we are a runaway species that's producing potentially runaway artificial intelligence that could potentially play a big role in the decades and centuries to come, it's incumbent upon us to understand who we are and what our potential is and what is going into our problem solving, what is going into the things we are making, the things we build, the artificial intelligence that we'll be in deep relationship with over time. So what is going into that? What sort of self-image do we have? What self-understanding, what values do we have that's going into that process of making our inventions, that's going into our decision-making process, our ways of organizing together with other groups, nations, individuals, people of different walks of life, people of different expertise and specializations. There is a realm of untapped human potential based on just being able to sort of get out of our own way in our nervous system, if that makes sense. Our nervous system and guiding attention to realize its more higher functions can be done with some very simple ways of paying attention and guiding attention in the body. With that, there's a huge opening for humans to enter unforeseen capacity and degrees of ability to collaborate and to see what our past wounding is, see what is it that drives us at a more animalistic level, which is part of our evolution. We are simply we are a hybrid species of sorts, built of different evolutionary stages: reptilian brain, mammalian brain, and then our higher functions in the more hominin and human eras. So I'll pause there as food for thought, and there is much more to be shared and to converse on this topic. And with any luck, we will thrive more as a species if we and when we are able to collectively and then first individually unlock these potentials.